Okay, we'll get started here. Sounds like I'm echoing over in the corner. Before we do have our meeting tonight, we're going to have an invocation and we're going to do the pledge. And I think we've got it scheduled here that Ruby is going to do the leading us in the pledge, and Reverend Don Miller is going to give the prayer tonight. So if you all stand, Ruby.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Don Miller.
Like I say to the council, I did a thing at my church this week about Merry Christmas, and I have a sheet that I put there in front of you. Don't read it now. Take it home and read it to you. I'd just like to report to you that so far in a week and on Facebook, I've had 2,153 Merry Christmases declared. So real proud of that, and maybe you'll be able to add to that total in the next 2 weeks or so. Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, you've taught us from your word that prayer is powerful. And Father, we would just ask you now to answer our prayers in a powerful way. Father, we do pray for our city. We pray for our young people and those in middle age and those older. We pray, Father, that they'll make good decisions in their life and in their health and in their well-being. Father, we're concerned, this council's concerned, the city's concerned about all of us, and we just pray, Father, that we can continue to make good decisions. Father, do pray for Dan Parker and his work with the city, bringing in industries and businesses to our community that would allow us to function in a better way. Father, we do pray for those in our city who serve others, policemen and firemen, teachers, hospital workers, those in nursing homes, just everyone who takes the opportunity in their life to serve others. And we just pray, Father, you'll help them to do the best that they can for others. And Father, be with this council as they meet. Just bless them, bless their decisions, and may they make decisions that are wise and helpful to all concerned. And Father, we just pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Call the meeting to order. First order of business, everybody kind of turn their cell phone on vibrate or off. Second item will be the roll call.
Councilwoman Risch.
Present.
Councilman Weber. Councilman Shomel.
Present.
Councilman Nobby. Councilwoman Montgomery.
Present.
Councilman Creech. Councilwoman Seiler.
Present.
Let the record show that 4 council people are present tonight. We have a quorum, and we may do business. The first item of business tonight is going to be the reading of the minutes of the last meeting of December the 1st. And if you received them, what's your pleasure?
I move that we accept the minutes as we received them.
I'll second.
Motion and a second that we accept the minutes as we received them. Any additions or corrections? None appearing, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Under new business, we have an application for blight elimination program. Diana's not here. It's the same program we did before. We just need to give her permission to move forward. I'd like to tear as many as 8 properties down. We've been out looking at those properties the last couple of weeks. We try to find people to be our partners, to help us to either purchase the place or we get it tax credits through the commissioner's sale. And we've been able to, we have 5 properties scheduled to be tore down right after the first of the year. And we've been out looking. We probably have another 24 properties need to be tore down, but we're probably only going to be able to do between 5 and 8. So I need permission to move forward with that.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
A motion and a second that we apply for the blight elimination program grant. Is there a second? Okay.
Second,
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Second.
Any discussion? I think everybody knows how we're working it. We go out and try and find partners. We try to find people that have a final use for the property. None appearing, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I'd like to take resolutions 2014-44 to 2014-47 together. They're all reimbursements back in, both from police and fire.
One's EMS, I think.
One's EMS, yeah. No,
It
Please.
is, she's got it on here wrong. Second one's EMS
okay.
and police.
Yeah, it says EMS at the end. It's all money coming back. If you'd let me, I'd like to take those resolutions all together.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second that we consider resolution 2014-44 to 2014-47 inclusive. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Pending ordinance 3170. This is a salary ordinance for non-bargaining employees at the utility. The only change from last year is the young lady that works at the sewage treatment plant, the pre-treatment coordinator. When we started her, we made a mistake. We started her at about $30,000, $32,000 a year. She has a master's degree in chemistry and biology. She's making less than the workers were, and I made the mistake. I want to kind of halfway correct that. We raised her to $34,500. Other than that, everybody in here stays the same. It was an error. We were doing everything, trying to find qualified people. We found her, and she's still probably only making half what she could make if she went to a large city, but she wants to live here, and it's to our benefit that she does. So with that is the only change. I'd like to pass pending ordinance 3170.
So moved.
Second it.
They've been recommended by the Board of Works. They've been through it. Okay. Got a motion and a second to pass pending ordinance 3170 on first reading. Any other discussion?
This is just time for this?
We have to do it by the end of the year.
Okay.
We do an ordinance every year to pay people. Any
The
further?
reason it's separate from the rest of the salary ordinance is they're not paid with tax dollars, so they don't have to be done when everything else does. They just have to be done before the end of the year.
Nobody can be paid without an ordinance issuing payment. So that's why we're doing it tonight. Okay. Further discussion? You want a roll call vote or you want a call vote? Make any difference? Let's do a roll call vote. We're spending the money.
Councilwoman Rish,
Yes.
Councilman Shomel,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilwoman Seiler.
Yes.
And you have passed that on first reading. Would you like to suspend the rules and consider it on third and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
On suspension only of rules. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we can move forward if you'd like to consider pending ordinance 3170 on third and final reading.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to consider pending ordinance 3170 on third and final reading. This is a salary ordinance for 2015 for the non-contractual employees of the Connersville Utilities. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Councilman Shomel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilwoman Seiler,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish.
Yes.
You have passed that. That ordinance stands, and I'll be signing it. Okay, we have pending ordinance 3171. This is the bargaining employees at the utility. Sets out their wages, and this is exactly like it was last year. I'm sure you've had time to review it. Are there any questions? It also follows the union contract.
I move we pass pending ordinance 3171 on first reading.
Second.
Got a motion that we pass pending ordinance 3171 on first reading. Any discussion? None appearing. Are you ready for the vote? Okay, well, roll call vote.
Councilwoman Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilwoman Seiler,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish.
Yes.
Councilman Shomel,
Yes.
You'll pass that on first reading. Would you like to suspend the rules and consider it on third and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second that we suspend the rules and consider pending ordinance 3171, an ordinance setting the wages for the contractual employees of the Connersville Utilities for the year of 2015. Any discussion? On suspension of rules only, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You may consider on third and final reading if you like.
So moved.
We got a motion and a second
Second.
to consider pending ordinance 3171 on third and final reading. This would set the wages and salaries and benefits for the contractual service of Connersville Utilities for the year of 2015. We'll have a roll call vote. Unless you have discussion. Anybody? Roll call vote.
Councilwoman Seiler,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish,
Yes.
Councilman Shomel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery.
Yes.
You'll pass that third and final reading. Thank you. Pending ordinance 3172. This is a transfer $3,000 from sanitation supplies to building materials and to other contractual services in the fire department. This is a transfer within the budget, and I can't exactly remember why we're doing it.
We had to repair a couple things right this minute, boy, I'm having a little trouble.
5-inch valves on the trucks from the water
Yeah.
intakes.
So we're transferring within the budget. Okay, what's your pleasure?
Well, I move we pass pending ordinance 3172 on first reading.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to consider pending ordinance 3172 on first reading. Any discussion? None appearing, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Would you like to suspend the rules and move on?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to suspend the rules so we can consider pending ordinance 3172 on third and final reading. On suspension of rules only, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You may move forward.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to consider pending ordinance 3172 on third and final reading, transferring $3,000 from sanitation to supplies, building materials, and other contractual services. Any discussion? None appearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Now pending ordinance 3173, another fire department transfer, $1,403 from traveling to other equipment.
That's for the computers,
Okay. This is where we're paying for the computer.
4 computers, right, Troy?
I move we pass pending ordinance 3173 on first reading.
Second.
A motion to pass pending ordinance 3173 on first reading. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Would you like to suspend the rules?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion to suspend the rules to consider pending ordinance 3173 on third and final reading. On suspension of rules only, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. You may move forward.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to consider pending ordinance 3173 on third and final reading, transferring $1,403 from traveling to other equipment in the fire department. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Takes care of that. Department reports for the month of November, Gene Worley Airport.
Mr. Mayor, Julie, ladies and gentlemen of the Common Council, the Indiana state codes require that at least once a year an airport board member appears before the council, gives a little thumbnail description on what we're doing. We have to do that before the February meeting. Last year, didn't make it till March because of weather and situations, which your meeting was delayed, I was delayed. So I thought I would do it now, and then we'll be within the codes. In January of 13, last year, we started discussions with Union Pacific about using the airport for a site to offload the windmill facilities that are going in up by Lynn. We worked on that contract, Mr. Baker and I, we met 6, 8 times probably, and finally got something that we could live with in May. In June, we got it down to Mr. Graham in Texas from Union Pacific. He looked at it, he agreed with it, We signed it. We got $34,000 in rent for 8 acres for 6 months. A little later on in the year, I happened to be up there one evening, and it looked like they were outside of the silt fence that we had marking the boundaries. So we contacted the gentleman. He came up with a GPS and walked it, the perimeter, and we found out they were using 2.8 acres more than they paid for, 2.96 acres to be exact. So I contacted Mr. Graham, and he immediately sent us $15,000. So the deal's done now. They're packed up and they're leaving, and we ended up with $48,000 at a nice site to use in the future when anybody wants to come in on the railroad and offload anything. So that may be in the near future because of the windmill, whitewater windmill operation that will probably go in northern Fayette County, Rush County. That took up February, March, April. We did a lot of that. Then we also created and worked with, we've been working on this for several years, a zoning overlay for the airport. The Federal Aviation Administration wants us to have one that they want to secure their investment. This October, I signed a grant for $1,367,000, which raises our total grant since 1992 to over $11 million we brought into the airport in federal funds. And we buy that money with our own money at $25,000 to $50,000 per million. And I'll do that all day. That's a good buy. But they want to protect their investment. That's federally designated property, and you just can't go on and do what you want to. You have to have their permission, and we spent a lot of hours with the FAA on this offloading site because that falls into airspace. And there was a lot of money spent, a lot of time spent getting that done in a hurry so that we could close this deal. They were very gracious in putting other things aside and helping us get this done. It's normally a 90-day thing. We got it done in less than 30. The zoning has been going on, like I said, with Bill McDaniels and people from Next Era for probably 5 years. But we really got hot on it this year because they were pushing us, the FAA. They were wanting these grants or wanting this protection. So we got something in shape I think we can all live with. Mr. Corey Harper from Butler, Fairman, and Seifert and I presented it to the Area Plan Commission. Wouldn't go tonight, I believe it was. And it sounds like it's going to fly. I don't think anyone down there had any problems with it. We worked with SAPA, trying to find a place for them to park their semis and trying to find space on the airport where they could put a warehouse. They're in desperate need of a warehouse. We're trying to do all we can to help them find a place on our airport if they really want to do that. And we've already contacted the feds about it, and we're working with them. Looks like it'll go if they want it. In October, and this has been going on throughout the year too, we signed a contract with Maxwell to refurbish the airport terminal building at a cost of around, what, $347,000, isn't it, Julie? Because we got a bunch of it knocked off. We met with them and reduced the cost about $9,000 we got taken off on it. So that work is in progress right now. They're working on it. We're going to have a new peaked metal roof with a gable roof on each end, new windows, doors, siding, insulation, building a room on for pilots at night. They come in to swipe their card to buy gas as it is now. They're out in the cold. This room will have an electronic locking device on it where a code word will be broadcast only to pilots, and it will change periodically, and it'll be something familiar to pilots so they'll know what it is, and when they land, get gas, they want to use the restroom or take a nap, sandwiches, whatever, we'll have vending machines, drinks. They'll be able to code their way in and have these facilities for as long as they want them, and then there'll be telephones and everything else available for them, weather reporting. So that's a big plus for us. In November, the contract with Union Pacific ended, and they're in the process of cleaning up. They still got some stuff to take out, and David brought to my attention this evening that we need to make sure that the gates are locked up, and I'll do that. We had originally planned our grants for 3 years. And because it was going to take 3 years, it was going to cost a lot more money, because these contractors have to mobilize. They have to get their equipment to the site, and costs go up. So we worked with Marty Blake from the state of Indiana. And this is unusual. I don't recall this ever happening in 30 years on the board. Marty took funds that were designated for other airports in Indiana and gave them to us, so that we can get our job done in a year. And we did that because it's going to save the state probably $50,000 to $75,000. So somebody's going to have to wait a year, but the state will make money and we'll have ours done in a year. So everybody's going to be happy when this is over with, because somebody that wasn't going to get anything will now get something with the savings that we've incurred up there by doing this in 1 year. The ramp will start in, as soon as the weather breaks, probably April or May. They will come in and excavate 600 square yards on the ramp, the parking apron in front of the terminal building. That will be excavated to a depth of 18 inches. It will be mixed with a cementitious product, returned back to the excavation, and then it'll be packed in, 200 pounds per square inch. And then over the top of that will be 6 inches of reinforced rebarred concrete in 10-foot square panels that will be doweled together. And when that's done, we will have a ramp that everybody in the state will wish they had, just like they do our runway. And it'll be capable of 84,000 pounds of dead weight, and more on a tandem axle airplane. That's about it from the airport. If anybody has any questions, Debbie or Mrs. Seiler or...
Looks
Any
like you're doing
questions?
good.
When will your building be completed, your terminal building be completed?
Oh, we're hoping, the contract's set up for 90 days, but there's some bad weather days in it. Isn't that what 90? Yeah. And there's bad weather. You can't, if they get lazy, they'll be penalized, but things that they can't help, we're not a bunch of bad guys. We're not going to penalize them if it goes 93, 95 days or whatever, because we're good people. And
When did it start? When did
it started, what, Friday? Week ago today, I believe.
Okay, so it's just underway.
Well, the very first thing it did, they started putting in a footer and they hit a fuel tank. It was an old fuel oil tank that had been buried up there for years, and we checked with the EPA, and fuel tanks, fuel oil tanks of that size are not considered a hazard, and they're not registered, so we just dug it up and checked it for leakage. There wasn't any leakage in it, we had it all pumped out, and checked the site, no leakage, so we just packed it down and went back at it again.
Good.
Any questions?
Thanks, Gene.
You're welcome. Thank you. Merry Christmas to
Thank
all.
you,
Yeah, you
same to
too.
you.
EDG Director, Dan Parker. I think he's here.
He was out in the lobby, I saw.
Dan?
There we
Asleep?
go.
No, I'll sleep, Mr. Mayor. Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to stand and give a short report on economic development and the progress that's been going on in Connersville, Fayette County. Generally, things are moving forward at a pretty good pace. I'd like to see things move faster, but it's kind of hard to get people to spend their own money at the speed I want them to spend it at. So that's the speed we're traveling at. We've got a couple of small businesses that are making headway to begin operations in Connersville, Fayette County. And one of them has made an offer on a property here in Connersville. The other one is being a little reluctant, but is trying to decide between two properties. We continue to move forward to qualify Connersville and Fayette County as an ACT work-ready community, with 1 academy completed and 3 more to go. We expect Connersville and Fayette County to go live in the spring after the next academies are completed. And we appreciate
the support we've been given by Mayor Urban on this project. We continue to go forward with the support of the wind energy project and in doing all that we can to make this become a reality here in Fayette County. I've been working closely with people at Next Era, along with economic development leaders in Rush and Henry counties. We continue to work on with a variety of people who desire to enrich and enlarge Connersville's cultural footprint. One of the gaps we continue to hear from people that might move to our community is about things to do, places to go, things to be involved in. So we're exploring ways we can help build a better community with very dedicated groups who are already in the process of planning trails, river walks, river access, and more. We're also a voice of support to the Whitewater Valley Art Association and their desire to increase their exposure and their ability to serve all who want to take advantage of the arts in Connersville and Fayette County. We continue to visit businesses and local manufacturers to offer EDG help and creative ways to help their businesses grow or become more efficient. That's about all my report. I apologize, I'm not as long-winded as Brother Worley.
Any questions?
No need for apology.
Any questions? Dan, go home and watch TV. We
Well, if
appreciate
there
it.
are no questions, I would like to thank each of you for the service that you render to the public as public servants here in Connersville. I appreciate those of you who have taken time to visit me in my office, to offer advice or suggestions, or have encouraged me with a kind word. I deeply appreciate it. And I wish each of you a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you, same to you.
Me too.
Park Superintendent Jessica Baum. I want to say Jessie, but I guess I'm supposed to say Jessie.
She's Jessica Fall now.
Yeah,
Fall,
she's
fall.
changed her
Oh,
mind.
my lands, I got mixed up there,
Melissa got
didn't
her
I?
already.
She got married since she was here last
So it
time.
needs to be changed on the agenda, would help.
Yeah, well, that would help. We can blame, we can blame
We can
Melissa.
blame, she's not here, so.
Yeah, let's blame her.
This month, we took in a total of $7,999.50, almost $8,000. And we spent just under $40,000, which I thought was pretty good for the month. Currently, we're working on repairing some picnic tables. I think we got around 30 that need some form of repair. Continuing to cut down trees when it's a little warm outside. Right now, we have indoor soccer league signups going on for, I believe it's 3rd through 6th grade. They end at the end of the week. Also, church league basketball signups end at the end of the week too. So we still have our pool season passes 15% off for the rest of the month. So if you need a last minute gift idea, there you go. Any
Are
questions?
these trees, are they old and being
They're
removed?
dead. and
Okay.
everything.
They marked them this summer when they were green, and now
Yeah.
they're trying to get them down.
Good. Are they gonna replace them with some other trees?
Well, we do have the tree program, so that helps a little bit. And then if we have any spare money laying around, we'll try to
Okay.
replace some of them.
How many
So
trees we
probably
talking?
no, Fran.
How many trees you talking?
Probably right around 20,
Okay.
quite a bit.
Okay. Thanks, Jesse.
You're welcome.
Police ordinance enforcer David Counselor, you're gonna give your report, the whole report, all the report, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Good. Go for it.
Well, let's see, we have 945 law reports, 69 citations, 0 ordinance violations, 31 warnings issued. We have 3 personal injury accidents, 49 property damage accidents, 0 fatalities, and 105 arrests. And our budget is basically about the same as it has been for the last several months.
What about $99,554.26 to operate you guys in November? Okay,
I'm proud of you, you held your overtime to $747.24. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, council. You all have a
thank you, thank you.
Streets Superintendent Joe.
How's everyone this evening?
Go ahead.
Today we got the Western Avenue gravel down along the side of the road on the west side of the street. That all looks pretty good if I can keep the folks from driving through it, dragging it back out on the ground. But once it gets the rain on, it'll pack down and be fine, but that's done today. We had contact today with Milestone, and we're gonna get some hot patch. Talked to them this afternoon, we're gonna, depending upon the rain, we're gonna try to do that tomorrow. See how much rain we get tonight, I don't know what sprinkles or downpour, I don't know what we're getting. I can't fill holes with water in them, but we'll see what we got in the morning about filling holes. The Friday after Christmas, we're gonna pick up recycle because we're off on Thursday, so on Friday, we'll be picking up recycled. Because of Christmas and with all the cardboard and everything that can be, I don't feel like we can wait it out and go another week or two. Because you got New Year's right after that, so there's gonna be some extra things I think to pick up, so.
good.
We're gonna go ahead and do recycling then on that Friday, which is a curveball to what we do all year, but it's something we can't help. We will go ahead and pick up trash we'll be closed, but we'll pick up trash on Christmas Eve, and then we'll make it up on Saturday then. We'll pick up on Friday and Saturday. Saturday we'll make up then, so everything will move one day because of the Christmas Day.
Paper and radio needs to make that straight. I got a lot of calls over Thanksgiving. Whoever's supposed to be picked up on Thursday will get Friday. Whoever's supposed to be
Right.
picked up on Friday will go Saturday.
No, it'll be Wednesday and Thursday though.
Right, but Wednesday we're gonna go ahead and pick up on Christmas Eve.
You're picking up on Christmas Eve.
Yes, then that way it just makes the one day of Thursday that makes us,
Shift one day,
Yes.
Thursday and Friday.
Maybe Friday.
so hopefully if people miss it, at least we've got as much of it and it won't be so bad in that following week then.
You getting the signs for Western Avenue, the truck signs?
Yes, they've been ordered. So we'll get the signs done.
Cost of your, operating your department last month, $101,664.63.
A couple of the snow plows have rusted out along the bottom. We're refurbishing those right now, so we got those back and Phil's putting those back together as today started putting them back together, so they look really nice.
How many plows do you have?
5. For the
Plus
big
the
trucks.
pickups.
Plus the pickups, we got 5 for the dump trucks. So that works out well. I don't know how many year old those are, but they're fairly old.
Yes.
Anybody got any questions?
Utilities, Mike.
Merry
Bottom
Christmas to all of you.
Thank you,
Merry
Nick, and to you.
Christmas.
Good evening. November monthly report. Should have it with you. Attached is our monthly revenue versus expenditures and balances for the year and for the month. The overtime report is also attached, $6,763. Most of that is working holidays at the water and the wastewater plant. Work orders, did 49. Month of November, a lot of time was moving and repairing meter bits for the Grant Avenue project. I think they had about 14 of them. Updates on some projects. The Grant Avenue separation project is on hold until March. They went home for the winter. We did get the specs approved today through Board of Works to start looking at a back truck, getting those information out, and hopefully we'll get some bids here in a few weeks. Another thing that me and Brad's been working on is our budget, 5-year planning. We're trying to come up with a workable budget by looking at 2013, 2014 numbers. I passed out a couple sheets. It's general numbers for the 3 departments, kind of what we're shooting for 2015. And also some of our 5-year
planning that we're looking at in the next 5 years to do. You know, we're working from we really haven't had a budget last couple of years, so it's gonna be a work in progress as the year goes, but we're working off of another budget that is broken down by a lot more by accounts and numbers, not just these lump sums. You don't have to do anything today with it, but I just wanna let you guys know that's what we're working with. If you look at the 5-year planning, you know, me and Brad look at this probably weekly. We're always changing stuff, adding items. There's always something new, but we have to get this preventive maintenance stuff started. An example is catch basins. Right now, we pretty much just put out fires. We really need to take a look and repairing things. We can't do it all at once, we understand that, but when you start chipping away, like, you know, we're gonna try to repair 12 catch basins a year for the next few years. We got a dollar amount to it. Replace these divers on the lift stations. Some of them don't work, we gotta get those replaced. They let us know if there's errors at the lift station. So there's some things that we need to do. Another important thing we need to do is inserting valves. We talked about today at Board of Works. That was one of the problems we had on the Grand Avenue project. We had a line bust and there was no valves to actually turn the water off. So we had a rough time getting it repaired. We had to call company in, emergency, put valves in, so we shut the water off to repair. So we're gonna take a look at that throughout the city and be able to shut down the water a little bit easier for us. But those are just some of the things. You can have those copies. If you see something that you like to see us add, let me know. And other than that, is there any questions?
Even though the work is stopped on Grand, it will remain closed?
Yes.
Okay.
21st is open through.
The 21st Street intersection.
And that reminds me, I had a call just before I went home at 4 o'clock. There's a one-way street up there, and they say they're using it, they're going the wrong way on it all the time.
Which one is that?
Well, I don't remember, just north of 21st, or is it 19th there? Which one's one way?
19th.
Okay, everybody's using it the wrong way, and the guy said he almost got hit. He called. I told him I'd tell you. I forgot.
It's one way west.
You better look at that, better check that out. It said their trucks are using it the wrong way, and everybody's using it the wrong way.
My son lives on that 19th and he says it's awful.
Okay, they just called me, and I forgot until you brought that up. Okay, will you look at that?
Yeah, I'll take care of
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Fire department. Did you give a total on the operation of that utilities, or did you not intend to?
I don't know.
You usually give total, you mean receipt?
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, I don't have them here, I just got the scale. That's okay. I noticed
I mean, is
our
this
revenue
Is this what?
has gradually gone up.
Is this what
See, yeah, right here. See, our revenue
Yeah.
has gone up in water all the way through the year, so that's what we're looking at. And it looks like our disbursements are kind of coming down.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Fire Chief.
Runs are up. Last month was the busiest month we've had so far. It was up to 115 runs, 271 man hours, emergencies, 12 inspections, 11 investigations, 8 pre-planning, 104 hours of training. Let's see, how much overtime we had. $1,086 in overtime, the majority of that being the FLSA, which is, by law, by federal law. And then, the other thing I had for you, which I'm a little bit winded on, I'm losing my voice. I had worked up the month-to-month comparison from last year on what the savings was doing. How we was trying to save, give you guys this earlier, didn't I?
You gave, yes, thanks.
Okay.
This afternoon.
The guys are pitching in, like I told the Board of Works, all the guys are pitching in and pulling their share, trying to make everything work with the financial crunch and repairing stuff and pinching every penny we got, so we're saving money over there, so.
The cost of operating your department in November, Troy, was $182,324.54. That compares to $251,825 a year ago.
questions.
Any questions? Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, same to you.
EMS.
Okay, for November, our expenses for the city was $45,131.16. Our receipts was $13,064.28 for a total of $32,66.88. And we made 213 runs. And for the year, we've made 2,264 runs. Any questions?
Do you know how many you average a day? Did you ever figure that out
We run between 8 and 10 a day.
on a regular basis? 8 and 10 every 24 hours.
So your expense is $90,262, and the receipts $26,128. So $64,133 is what we came up short. And then that's divided equally between the city and county.
Yes.
I've been talking with, we probably need to get a little stiffer on our collections. We send 3 bills and we pretty much forget it. And I meant to talk to the Board of Works today about it. We've talked with ambulance billing and they're telling us most people aren't that lenient.
I've sent an email to him, and he was going to do some more checking. I haven't got an email back from him yet.
But we will take that to the Board of Works.
We should, yes.
I know I was in that business for years, and if people don't have insurance, they don't have Medicare or Medicaid, you're in pretty big trouble to get it collected. There's nothing you can repossess. And you can't turn them down the next time they call.
No. And the new ambulance is here?
Yes, it's out in parking lot.
Okay.
Very nice, I was out there looking at it.
Satisfied
Yeah.
so far?
So far.
It's not actually a brand-new ambulance, it's a brand-new chassis.
Well, right, the
And we
motor.
lucked out, we got enough money off of that
Yeah,
deal that we had enough money to pay cash.
good.
That was an act of God, because we didn't expect that money.
Good timing.
Or timing, yeah, that's right, the timing. Thank you. No questions. The Channel 3 guy can't speak tonight. He's silent movies. His reports in front of you. You can see all the things. Really, you could give this, Fran. You did a
I
good part
could
of
give
this.
that, but I'm not going to.
You're not going to.
No, you can give it.
Okay, well, it's all written out here. All of you can read and see what we've done. I will remind you that Thursday night, we will do the Santa Claus show. It'll be an hour and a half long, 7 o'clock. At 7 o'clock Thursday evening, you can start calling Santa. Now, I'm worried because last year we had snow. What if we don't have any snow on that roof over there? I don't know what happens. Maybe we'll have the fire department come over, spray water, and it'll freeze. But anyway, that's Wednesday night. That's a big time. That's our biggest program every year. You're coming over to help, aren't you, Fran?
Yes,
Okay. If you still got a voice.
yes.
Thursday evening.
Okay, I think we're down to EMS. I got him, didn't I? And City TV. Hey, we're done. We have the city Christmas dinner. I will tell you again, it's been moved to Friday, this coming Friday. And it will be at 11:30 at the Roberts Building. All city council members, all employees are invited. And it's being paid for us free. It doesn't cost the taxpayers or the city anything. So I would invite everybody to come and eat. I think it's turkey and dressing and all the trimmings. It's the Roberts Building, 11:30. If you are running a department, you are allowed to close that department. Put a sign on the door that we're closed for the Christmas party, except for the fire, except for the first aid unit, except for the police. You bring your police cars and everything, put a sign on the door, but come on up there and eat. We're going to have a nice time, and City Council, it's nice of you to come and mingle and talk to the employees if you can, okay? Can you come? Connie, they won't let you have no time off. Not even for a Christmas party? You need to get a better employer. All right. Old business, what do you got under old business? Anybody? I don't remember anything we were carrying over. Miscellaneous business. Ruby?
No.
Debbie?
Merry Christmas.
Fran?
I have nothing, thank you.
Connie?
Nothing.
Nothing under miscellaneous business. That makes it easy. Okay. Under the mayor's report, we have enjoyed all the celebrations of Christmas. The Messiah, which the city joined up with the school corporation, we put that on. It was very well received. It was a great program. They had the bell choir at the Baptist church last night. It was very well received and great. We had the Christmas choir from the high school Sunday afternoon. It was wonderful. We have so many great things here. I don't know why people don't want to live here. I just don't get it. I think we're over the hump with this heroin. We've kind of got a little bit under control. Would you agree, Chief?
Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well with it.
I don't think the sheriff's really happy with us because we filled the jail, but other than that, we're doing good.
Yeah, we're chugging along.
Okay. Public forum, is there anybody like to speak out there? Anybody come here tonight to speak? Oh, we got another shirt.
More shirts.
You don't get a second one.
All right, I was up here earlier talking to the Board of Works. Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm the union president for the firefighters.
Scott Jones.
Scott Jones. We wanted to give you guys a little bit of something. We had some extra t-shirts left over from our breast cancer awareness that we sell in October. So I gave the Board of Works each a shirt. We wanted to give you guys each a shirt too. And if for some reason they're not the right size, you're more than welcome to stop down and exchange it. We have a big box down there, and I reached through and tried to grab as many as I could. I guess I can give Tom and Gabe's his another day, unless you guys want to.
You can leave them here and I'll see that Melissa gets them to him.
You want to do that? And
Yeah.
Gary, yeah, I got their three.
Gary is over here.
Yeah, I'll give them that.
Thank
will.
you.
All right, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything other, anybody else want to speak? Yes, come right up, sir.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Evening.
Mark McCowan. My wife and me have a grooming shop at 22nd and Grand. And this is about the storm sewer separation. I understand it's state mandated and all that, but I learned all my information from the News Examiner. Nobody tells us nothing. I just learned at this meeting that they'll be back in March. I don't know if it's the first or the last.
Depending on the weather.
I don't know if they'll come in like a lion and go out like a lamb or vice versa. And then April showers bring May flowers. But what I do know for a fact is that they come up there at 11 o'clock on Friday, September the 5th. And they shut down Grand and they shut down 22nd and the side streets. That was the Friday on Memorial Day weekend. At 11 o'clock in the afternoon, they shut them down. Our shop was full of dogs. We had customers that was going to come and get their dogs after we was done with them. It turned hectic. As of today, Grand has been closed 102 days. They've worked 41 days. They haven't worked 61 days. If you're running a profitable business, you check a percentage of efficiency. And how you do that is you take your run time divided by your total time. If you go in and order a pizza and it takes them 30 minutes to make it, but it takes them an hour to get it to you, that's a 50% efficiency. That's not good. These people are running at 40%. Every morning I watch them kids go up and down that street. I talked to Fran one evening at his house about the shutting down. I went to the meeting in the spring where they was going to do the side streets, the 3 blocks up there on 21st, and they was going to do it down to 20th and work their way up. They was going to keep the side streets open. That didn't happen. Long story short, the only parking we have a front entrance on Grand Avenue. We have no side entrance, no back entrance. right on the corner of 22nd and Grand, on the east side of 20, right there where they put the barricades up. That's where our customers can do a UE. They drop their dog off and do a UE. All the neighbors, everybody's been great. Utility people come up there to do stuff. They've been great. I've talked to the people that come up there in the state cars, the little white ones. They park on the other side of 22nd, just to leave parking. And it's not just us. There's CEI Communications. There's us. Across the street's John's Dental Lab. On the other corner is a Mauger home. It's a fairly active corner. And I know these people, they gotta get their stuff done, but the way they're doing it, I seen an ad in the paper the other day where you guys are wanting to get some bids for a continuation of this project. I cannot say anything good about the group you got up there now. This is our second year of dealing with this. Last year they went through and they cut into Grand and they moved all the gas meters. They tore our sidewalk out. They left it gravel. I totally understand that. Save money. Don't pour a nice sidewalk, tear it out next year. Total, makes sense. This is 2 years we've been dealing with that. As of the 3rd of December, they packed up their porta potties and they beat feet. I found out at this meeting they'll be back in March. That's what I was just saying. In like a lion, out like a lamb, who knows? In April showers bring May flowers. All I can say too, and I've said it, I called your office one time and Mr. Bottomley come up and we was talking about it. And he went out and talked to him because when they got up there on the corner of 22nd, then they turned 22nd into a truck route. All these big dump trucks was coming up there with their sand and gravel, and we had no place for our customers to park, none. So I said something after calling your office, and then he came up there and talked to me. He went out and talked to Mark Walker. And 2 hours after your man left, they brought crunched up Grand Avenue up there and poured them a ramp so that they could use it better. That ramp is there to this day. They go out of their way to just take over. I'd strongly recommend not using this outfit. The outfit that moved the gas lines, polite, efficient, and everything like that. This group you got here, they're not doing it. And when we was at that meeting at Roberts Park in the spring, it was said, somebody asked you about emergency equipment. Go down them alleys. It's grown up, there's lines as low as the ceiling. Emergency equipment isn't going to get down through there. And out in front of there, they've dug deeper than this ceiling. And it's filled in. If it's dry, it's a dust bowl. Look at all the houses. It's not just clinging on the houses, it's coming in the houses. Us guys are breathing that. And now they're just walking away. Like I said, it's been 102 days today. So you're looking at another 100 days before they come back and start again, if weather permits. You're looking at another 100 days. This is our second year into this project. They came in the east side of town, they done 44 from the city limits to the bridge. They kept one lane open. They done that whole thing in 2 months. Got her done. They kept Dunn's open, kept the Pizza King open. For some reason, the 3 blocks up 21st Street and the little bit they've done on Grand, they've been walking backwards. They've been doing it ungodly slow. And it's just not worth it.
Okay, may I answer you?
Yeah.
Everything you said is correct. Absolutely correct. With this project, it's a federal project. We're mandated by the federal government to separate the sanitary and the storm sewer. We're mandated to do it in their way, not our way. We design a project. This particular project that you're working on today was designed before I got here. I had nothing to do. I didn't know anything about the design. It was already done. We let the contract. We have to give it to the least expensive. The company that's doing it was $1 million less than everybody else. That's why they got the bid. Hands are tied. They get the bid. It's federal money we're using.
This deal that's coming up in the future.
No, but wait a minute. Let me tell you the whole story. We then are obligated to hire a company to look out for your benefits and our benefits. to the tune of about $300,000. That, in this case, is
Schneider.
Schneider Corporation out of Indianapolis. They sent a nice guy in here that was operating the thing for me. We had a great relationship. He couldn't handle it anymore. It was more than he could handle. He got out. They put another guy in there. I wasn't happy with him. I had a hard time communicating with him, so they sent another guy up there, and he's been there the last 6 weeks. He communicates constantly. Don't understand what he says. I have been up there. Mr. Baker's been up there with me. We have fought for your rights, have we not, John?
We have.
I took the attorney up there and fought for your rights.
That's a positive.
My
These
hands,
two guys right here, I met with them too.
my hands are tied. They're running the show. I was even threatened by NDOT because of the way I talked to them.
Well, I'm glad I weren't with you because I'd have been more blunt.
Okay.
We are a small business.
I have tried and tried and tried. Yes, you're right. At times, there's 4 men working up there on that major project. Drives me nuts. But they are not in violation of their contract. They've got a certain time it's going to be done, and they are on target. The utility people still here, they go home. Come in here.
That's something else I was wondering because the airport man, Mr. Worley, just said that they had 90 days. But these nice guys, if they took 95, they weren't going to pay no penalty. This is the first I've
Brad
heard of.
has been with us on this. Brad,
He was up there with the,
how much have we fought to make this right?
Quite a lot.
he's seen exactly what I'm talking about right now.
But what can we do? The contract's been let,
When you
they
get
got the
up there in
contract.
front of that nursing home, Hickory Creek, they have but one entrance also. The ambulance goes there a lot. When you get up in front of there, what are they gonna do, tear it up for 2 or 3 years?
Okay, let me tell you what's gonna happen. Tomorrow morning, he and Mike are going to Indianapolis. They are going to a conference with NDOT on the next drawings for the phase 24 to 30. They will be looking out for all those things. We didn't have the opportunity to do that. That was all done in 07 and 06, and we weren't here. Wessler Engineering designed all that. I wasn't here. We had a city engineer at the time. The city engineer was involved in that. But this time, those 2 men are going to be involved in that. They're going to be watching out for all those pitfalls, because believe me, we've had them.
I know.
We've had them.
I'm right in the middle of one right now.
I know. And I have gone up there and fought for your rights and fought for your rights with very little benefit.
I see none of this. Like I
It's
said,
all
to you,
done
I'm
every
not
other-
complaining at you.
It's done every other Wednesday, either in this room or my conference room. We have a meeting with them people. And we have sit there and argued. Just today, we signed agreements with your landlord, with the Don's Dental Clinic, and with
Maplewood.
Maplewood Inn. Just today, we finally signed the contracts. And John and I had to go up and negotiate the contracts. John, you have anything to tell them?
Nothing more than,
We followed all we can do, have we not?
yeah, we had to work a couple hours to get those contracts drafted. As a matter of fact, I drafted them on the site, just for each entity, so we could get something in black and white, and so they would know what they were going to be receiving, what they were entitled. And the one apparently was the one that
That's
is in
his
the
business.
same building that you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. And you're on the north side and they're on the south side?
Correct.
Yeah.
We've
And
been
we
here
met
20
with the
years.
owner of the property.
They were not going to give you a sidewalk out to the street, and we fought to get the sidewalk out to the street at the city's expense, and we agreed to pay for it today.
See, none of this is being told. We're up there as a business, been there for 20 years. Like I said, I found out this evening at this meeting
Believe me, we
that
have
they're
been
gonna
up
come
there.
back in March.
I know the corner of 22nd as well as you do. I know everything. I know the mortar house. I know the beauty shop's empty. I know Don's Dental Clinic. The lady that parks the car there all day and leaves it there all day, we fought with that. The old mattress that was laying there full of bed bugs, and I had it taken away. You remember it?
Yeah.
Okay, we have
I've been
been
there 20 years.
We have been there too. We have been there, let me tell you.
I'm just trying to bring it to y'all's attention. What's actually going on
Yeah.
right in the heartbeat. And I understand it's state mandated and y'all have to do it. But like I said, I seen in the News Examiner where you're taking bids to continue this project, and it has to be done. That if you're bucking with them right now and butting heads, then you know what this outfit's doing. Your $1 million saved of federal money, it ain't worth it to the people of Connorsville, the people that's actually dealing with it.
Isn't that construction contract, wasn't that actually between NDOT and Milestone? I don't think the city's even in that contract.
We got to pick the contractor, but we had to take bids, but it is between NDOT. All the money flows through NDOT to the project. But we have very little to say. I can't go up there and say, put 10 men on there. As long as they're on time when they finish, and they say they're gonna be, it'll be substantially done in August. Substantially, not done. It'll be totally done in March of 2016. That's what's gonna be totally done. Am I right on those dates? Yeah.
Close, yeah.
And I feel for you, I really do. In fact, it was the three of us that demanded that 21st Street remain open, so we didn't put the guy down there at the Dom's Dairy out of business. They were gonna close that and leave it closed all winter.
I'm dealing with that right now
Yeah,
myself. I'm wondering, like, you got the barricades up there on 22nd. Say we get 3 foot of snow tomorrow. What's gonna happen there on 22nd? What's snow removal gonna be? Is there any thought being given to that?
Yes,
I
yes.
mean,
We've
gonna move the
talked with
barricades and
Mr.
shove it out
Job.
there in the dirt?
No, we've talked with Mr. Job, and what he plans to do is to lower the blade all the way to the gravel, pick it up an inch, and push it up there so we can keep it off. They'll push it up to the barricades.
That's where my customers park.
I know. It's not a good situation. I agree with you 100%. I wouldn't want it in front of my business. It probably will be someday. Because it's
Oh, God help you when it happens.
it's mandated to do the entire city. And believe me, we have fought for you folks. We have
I
fought.
understand that it's mandated, and I understand that the state says to do it. I'm just telling you, as the little duck in this pond, I don't know what kind of fighting's been done. I've talked to this gentleman, Mr. Bodley. I've talked to 5 people to try to find out when they was shutting Graham down. I found out when I seen them putting up barricades. I went to the meeting over there at Miller Building in the spring. It was all a bowl of cherries. None of that came to be. This dude was supposed to be there for any questions all the time.
And he quit. He left.
The first call I made, he said, "This is my last day with
Yeah.
him."
I
And as
feel,
business owners, we just been left hanging.
as long as I'm here, I won't hire them anymore because they let me down. They
They've
let us
let me
down.
down.
They were the people that were supposed to be looking out for you.
When somebody dropped the ball. Like I said, you know, I'm not here complaining at you guys. I know you're not, it's not our street department out there doing it. But the clowns that are out there doing it right now are moving in reverse. They're moving ungodly slow.
Is there any chance we can open 22nd East and West?
Half the blacktop's already there.
What do you think?
It's not impossible.
I mean, what would, we're open 21st Street East and West. What would happen if we open 22nd and run it on gravel?
Could I make a suggestion? If you could half open it, enough to push your snow.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll ask our 2 utility people to talk with them. I'm trying to think of a reason why we couldn't.
Oh, just there's several manhole structures that's in that intersection.
Yeah, they've got the
Have to figure
little
out
gutter covers and there's pipes here and there. And
Got all those catch basins that's kind of hanging out of the corners. We'd have to go up there and look at it.
Okay.
which now they're dammed up that deep.
We understand your frustration. We really do.
I appreciate your time, and
I've
I
got
know
that.
Nick and
I
Rudolph
got that
called
in
me, and I
cut.
told them to put on their luggers and put it in low lock, because you're gonna need it to go up Grant.
I can draw you a picture of that intersection from memory. I know where the poles are. I know that all those people work at that CRF home over there, and I know parking's bad there. I know the poor dental lab's having a terrible time trying to carry everything in, carry everything out. They don't have any parking. We know it.
We all take each other's deliveries if UPS comes. If somebody going to lunch, we take them. I mean, it's like a family corner. It's a real good community right there. And the problem is, it's not the community, it's the people that's tearing up the street. And then they packed up their tools and their porta potties, and see you in March, maybe April. Maybe really wet in April, see you
No,
in May.
If they get down to the end, they don't finish on time, they'll be in a heap of trouble.
Oh,
I
I
can
hope
tell you
they
that.
don't, so the city can get some money out of it.
They will, because there is a deadline on it. Okay.
Appreciate your time, and
Thank you for coming in.
y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Thank
Okay,
you.
you too. Any other business from public forum? Anybody? If not, I'm going to,
We want to adjourn. I'll make that motion.
okay.
Second.
Got a motion to adjourn in a second. Was there any discussion about what this man just said? I didn't want to cut you guys off.
I really believe that somebody should come to the Board of Works and have a public meeting, and that would help inform the people up there as to what's going on, where the status of it is, and why this is happening and why this isn't happening. I know you guys have the meeting on Wednesday, but the information has been relayed to the residents up there, and I think they should be aware of what's going on and be informed. My suggestion.
Bad thing is that they just don't answer to us on this part. You know, I mean, the state comes in, they say, we'll pay for $4 million of it, but we're in charge. We just kind of work around the edges
It's the
of
same
it.
thing with Ohio Avenue. Look at the PR we had with Ohio Avenue and those people. They were constantly brought up to date on what was happening. This fellow went door to door and talked to the people and advised
He
them.
was excellent.
Part of
He
the
was-
difference
he
was
excellent.
project
His
engineer.
name was Alex Saunders. I talked with him every morning. You're right. This has been a fiasco. I'm telling you.
He came to the Board of Works meetings, advised us every 2 weeks what was happening.
That one wasn't a grant, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Ohio?
Yeah,
Was it?
the part we were talking about. What we needed to do was fire this group, which we should have done, and picked a new group. But NDOT has stood up for them, not us.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'd like to show you some of the emails I've got in there. You ought to see them.
But we have been on them. I mean, we've
Hard.
chewed them out, we've talked to them awful, but
And the NDOT stands up for them, or
NDOT's the
generally.
worst. NDOT threatened to sue me.
I mean, they've got a timeline, they gotta go by their own schedule, and there just ain't nothing to do. They underbid the project $1 million, like the mayor said, and now they're making it up by having less people on the job.
yes.
But we could ask to open 22nd if you think it can be done. That would help that parking situation. Look at it, will you?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what we can do.
Anything else, public forum, you wanted to make a motion to adjourn? I didn't want to cut you guys off if you wanted to talk about it. Ruby, you've been over there and looked at it? It's a mess.
It is a mess.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know you'd have fit if it was in front of your house, I would too.
I'm removing some things.
If you go down there and do it, it's okay with me. Got a motion to adjourn, is there a second?
Debbie already seconded.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.